Welcome back to Interview Ninja Step 60, Gestalt Psychology Continued, Raising Awareness of Body Language, How People Can Misread Somebody and Judge them wrongly. Then we talk about the importance of realizing just how often you are observed by others, and then some easy ways you can become more alert to other people's state of mind. So we watch one or two videos during this clip, and I encourage Corbin to join in terms of making some pretty obvious observations.
You'll see they have a kind of, some people call it karma. They have a peaceful karma of being able to be in like a state of rest. They're not letting it run through them as most people do. They just start their day off in the morning or whatever. They don't even think about where their mental energy is going. Okay, and it just runs through them through the day. By the end of the day, they're tired. They go to bed. They
Do you think the state of rest is? I know you have to learn it. Like, I doubt these high achievers are born with the state of rest to a certain degree. So is that something that you think you have to train and learn?
Yes.
And is that just through forcing yourself to not jitter and waste it?
No, it comes from being aware of where your mental energy is going. And actually, strangely, you can do certain things during a day which actually recharge your battery. Sleep is not the only way to recharge your battery.
All these approaches to mental energy are about what works for me and also the many people that I have coached. They may work for you as well, but if not, then start thinking about a typical day from when you wake up in the morning. During the day, you could make separate notes about your physical energy, like how you recharge it with food and spend it with physical activities, plus how you use and recharge your mental energy, including activities that make you feel energized and those that drain your energy by boring you. It can also be interesting to make a note of when you find a need to stimulate yourself with coffee and tea and alcohol even, and how much energy you get from having a conversation with someone that you like or engaging in an activity that stimulates your mind. And did you feel more tired before you started on that activity or after? Because that'll enable you to find out those sources of energy that you can tap by doing the right things for your mind during the day.
If you're doing something you like, it's almost recharges your battery. You can go on doing something you really like for much longer than doing something you don't like. You tire very quickly when you're doing something you don't want to be doing. So there is a relationship between the energy you use and how much you want to be doing that activity. And if you're doing something you really like doing, you can't do it indefinitely, but you can do it for a jolly long time compared to doing something you don't like doing. And you see that around you all the time.
Well, I might be like my M&S and theatre thing, because I've worked 13-hour days at the theatre, and I wouldn't blink about how long it was taking me to self-stroke. And then
so everybody does it, and it's fine. It's allowable, and it wasn't a self-stroke anyway. It was just a particular discomfort. I haven't talked to you about body language because it's a minefield. All right, it's real, and when it's shown as strongly as that woman with her breathing and her swallowing and her stroking, then I felt that was an opportunity to introduce it.
I wasn't being all aware of myself and worrying about my...
What I'd invite you to do at this stage is don't be self-critical of your own, especially critical, okay? You're not ready for body language analysis. That's a bit of a bit of a sort of prod. Whatever you do, don't press the red button.
Yeah.
But body language is a lot more complex than people think it is. Okay, it's very real. It's out there. It's fabulously useful, but you can get it wrong, which is why, again, Alex and I and others, Louis maybe to some extent, you go to the checkout counter, and those they're victims. You can ask, you can do checking questions with them. I saw you doing this and that. Is what you're doing stressful, or was that difficult, or did I not express it properly? So you have to ask the question very carefully. But with body language, you have to be check, always checking that you're getting it right. Because I've made some horrendous mistakes with body language. I've been
like what?
Well,
give me one. I want to know.
Okay, well, one of my worst ones. I got a salesman in, and he was behaving nervously, and he wasn't doing what I felt he was fully achieving what he could do, and I thought, well, I can help him.
Yeah.
I can help him, and I started sort of pointing out to him that he was doing this or doing that, and I found out that his mum had just died.
Oh.
Exactly. So it's totally changed his behaviour. But it wasn't I just assume, terrible word, that it was the stress of his job, and he was trying to do this and trying that. I was only seeing the world through my perception of his world. I was wrong. And you don't know what people are going through. They could have been diagnosed last week with cancer. It's out there, it's everywhere. And so it's real danger to think you can read body language without being.
There's so many variables, right?
There are so many variables. It's a great indicator, and you can kind of test it every now and then over a period of time. But like what you just did was that and that. Okay. Now, I could read that as stress. What I'm saying to you is stressful. You do this, you do that. You're self-stroking. I'm taking you into a stressful space. But on the other hand, I don't think that.
Yeah.
Because that's natural. It's body. It's this. It's that. But if I told you, if someone who does that is self-stroking, they're nervous.
All people observe the body language of others every second of the day. In fact, they pick up visual and audible signals about 20 times during a single second. These signals are analyzed by the subconscious using rules laid down in childhood. If the subconscious sees something important enough, like a danger sign, then it alerts the conscious mind of the observer. If you, as an adult, try to use body language consciously, it is a very advanced soft skill. However, in the hands of an expert, it is a valuable indicator of the inner thoughts of another person. Psychologists and psychiatrists use it a great deal, and from my own experience, high-value salespeople also find it very useful. A good people manager in any kind of company will develop some kind of body language capability so that they can give feedback or see what's going on in their staff's minds and adjust their own behavior.
You could start applying that. You just moved your body. You move the energy of your body into a more relaxed thing. So I might interpret that as, I'm taking him into a space he's not comfortable with, he's stressing, he's trying to change his dynamic.
Yeah.
But you're not.
No, I know. It's just...
You're being a human being.
Yeah, okay. Comprende.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a big warning about overusing body language.
Noted.
Okay, good. Okay, let's escape to watching this poor woman.
So one thing about the Gestalt theory is that it believes that everybody has access to their own emotions and the capacity to control their own emotions. The therapist is simply there.
Sorry. One really good behavioral thing is breathing rate. Okay, she's shallow breathing. So she's so uptight, she's not giving herself time to take in a proper breath and start talking. I didn't mean to show this woman for body language. I thought it would be interesting for Gestalt, and it probably is. All right. So what have I done? I've interfered with the process of what that's about. But let's. So now I'm going to shut up. Let's watch it like human beings.
Person become aware of their experiences. It doesn't tend to focus on past experiences as much as it does.
Can you just see how it? Can you see how it? Once you start looking at body language, it utterly changes the way you listen to someone. In fact, you don't listen to them anymore. You're just looking at them.
Yeah.
And reading their body language.
I don't listen to a word that she says.
Yeah, exactly. So, I know I've given you a warning about body language, and there's a lot you can take away from body language.
We don't know anything about this lady. How do you know that she hasn't? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, she might be a pro, actually.
Nobody can fake that.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No, but something might have just happened to her the day before.
Totally. But
actually, she's making this video so she can make it whenever she wants. So she's probably not going to make it straight after something bad's happened. And also, if she's done this before, then she would have lined things up. And
well, yes and no.
Yeah.
I don't think we should go there.
Just helping the person become aware of what's going on in the moment, how they're doing physically and emotionally. It focuses on the here and the now. It helps the client to focus on feelings, emotions, what's going on in their body, sensations. So one of the techniques that Gestalt therapists use might be this empty chair technique. And so they would have maybe a client who's having conflict sit in one chair and act out one part and dialogue with one part, and then move to a different chair and talk to the other part. So maybe a person has a conflict with the good person inside of them versus the wild part. And so the Gestalt therapist would have the person sit there and talk as if he was the good person, then get up and move and walk over and talk from the part of him that wants to act out or be wild or whatever. And then the therapist would do things like, what are you experiencing now? What are you noticing now? Stay with that, focus on that, and really help the client become aware of the conflicts going on inside of him.
The only thing is, so this is a counsellor talking about.
I doubt it.
He's talking about Gestalt theory, right?
Yeah.
The Gestalt approach.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it is about being self-aware of like processes and how things go.
Yeah.
And yet she's so like nervous and unself-aware of what's going on. It's like she's talking about something that she should be demonstrating through longer breaths and no scratching and self-stroking. I don't know. It just seems like she's.
Well, not only that, but if you know the Fritz Perls theory and stuff like that, this empty chair technique is extremely powerful, but it's massively complex, and it has to be done almost perfectly. It has to be managed almost, pretty well perfectly, and it is not a tool for amateurs to use, and I haven't used it with you.
In step 61, we will continue to encourage Corbin, and you of course, to go from awareness of thought paths within himself and others to trying to understand the bigger picture of self-awareness. We are doing this so that when he does the "where is my time going" exercise, which will probably be in step 62, he will be more critically analytical in terms of thinking about what am I doing, why did I do it, and do I want to go on behaving in that way, or are there some improvements that I can make?